Hi, and welcome back to the Deadman Company. As always, I'm your DM Shivam, and I use he/him pronouns. And I will let the rest of our lovely players introduce themselves.
Oh, this is much worse than I thought it was. It's fine. I'm gonna roll with it. Ahem. Come here, folks. Get the daily paper. Everyone, here. Extra, read all about it. Rambunctious Rising Ranger recounts rude realities. Ranger Ash, who uses he/him pronouns, uses he/they pronouns. Drake Warden Ranger supposedly starts a union for the local animals at the petting zoo to help regain their rights. A local monarch is also getting involved. Are they planning to bankroll it? Or are they going to crash this into the ground like a monarchy? The local statements from the Furbolg say, "My dragon made me do it. Can we trust this fickle Furbolg, or will he doom us all?" Hey, what are you doing on my turf? I'm Nolan, who uses he/him pronouns. This is where I sell my papers. You can't be here.
Well, too bad. I'm Kate. I use she/her pronouns, and I'm here to talk about the daring Dale Delaware, who also uses she/her pronouns, the Wadajanasi creation bard, on an adventure, a lifetime with a really unsuspecting partner, Maple, I'm just gonna call her Dragon. She's got a lot going on, long story short, but on the Secret Society Sneaking Around mission, they have a plot to... fuck you with the alliteration, Stolen. I'm gonna fucking get you for this later.
Not so easy, is it?
No, you only give me about 20 seconds to plan for this every damn week.
Ha-ha!
Anyways, in their most recent adventure, they're going on a sidetrack to bring down a mysterious madam of the... fuck you, I'm gonna just...
Even one.
I keep trying and I get caught on the third goddamn word. They're trying to kill someone. Go to the next person.
Seems this dastardly dame can't pick up a normal sentence. Tragedy. Who's that over there on our block?
It's, can't.
Seems like this one can't string a sentence together. Don't know how good they're gonna be for the busking game.
Fuck off. I'm Izzy. I use she/they pronouns, and I'm here to talk about the excellent Elena. She's learning more about her cult of a religion at the moment. There's not really a lot of good ups right now with her, but she pet a lot of animals in the last session, so here we are.
I've heard about that foolish featherhead. It seems like they can't tell a wing from a chicken wing. Terrible. Who's that other one over here on our block? You're dressed from head to toe in fine colors.
It's me, Elliot. I use he/him pronouns, and I'm here to sell my newspaper headlining the samurai named Oni Mori, who uses also he/him pronouns. He's here to defeat the long-standing champion of the Underground Fight Club in their own game. With some lessons and some help from some friends, of course.
I've heard that hard-headed human can't get two things straight. Always betraying his friends and not being able to tell innuendos on the street. That guy's crazy.
Hey, you never know. Sometimes you got one skill and nothing else.
Nothing else? That guy's really a one-trick pony. Hey, who's that green fella over there?
It's me.
Wow!
Wow.
Sorry.
We both jumped out of Nolan.
That's horrible. It's the red menace. He's an Indian warlock. He's doing his best.
It seems like this masterful menace can't manage to string together a single thing over here. That's truly terrible. Hey, I like your horns, buddy, but don't go pointing yourself into my business over here, alright? I got a shored up thing. I tell every single person who reads one of my papers that if they like my content, they can ring that bell and subscribe to make sure they get more of my good content coming their way, as that's the only way to stay informed. And I busk with no shame. Also, I heard if they leave a comment, that helps drive engagement. I don't know what that is, though. That's a new term my boss told me.
That's something like the personal column.
Yeah, it's something like the personal column. Hey, speaking of personal columns, I heard one of y'all's did an expose the other day about some goings-on around here. What was that all about?
Yeah. Now you want me on your damn turf doing your job, buddy. Fine. The party explores Paradiso. Ash, Elena, Dea, and Maple head to the petting zoo first. Encounters include a handful of birds, a friendly goat, and a chinchilla with a god complex. Elena is fascinated by the animals as Ash attempts to start an animal union. At one point, Elena tries to break out some parakeets, only to be thwarted by Ash, with a bit of help from Maple, as it would hinder his unionizing. I'm so fucked today. Heading out, he starts his advertisement plan to drum up business. The Red Menace enjoys a lavish spa day, managing to get it paid for on Fortuna's dime. After enough treatments, however, the paint disguising him melts off. To end his excursion, he spends time in a sensory deprivation tank, where in the silence of the container, he has a conversation with the three voices in his head. A short figure with sharp teeth, a tall figure with wings, and a massive figure with large muscles. After a while of waiting to be let out, he uses his magnetism magic to force the door open instead, only to be face to face with ceiling guards. Oh my god. However, instead of getting arrested, he manages to convince them that he is the deepest undercover agent of all time and gains the interest of Fortuna herself. Onimori goes to try to investigate a local bookstore, instead finding it closed and running into Lady Ravenwood. A light conversation ensues, getting more information about the fights themselves and where he can meet Rosario early, in which he does seek her out and uses his negative riz to arrange a fight with her outside the arena. The petting zoo group splits up to explore further. Ash gets supplies for his advertising campaign. Elena heads to a Sielan church, where she finds that instead of the normal double-ended scythe she has seen depicted, it is a normal one, finding out that the woman was Marisol, her mother. She has an internal crisis as she discusses her allegiance to La Caballera, finding that her own morals have strayed from what her goddess stands for. Dea takes Maple to meet Jade, one of Ravenwood's disgruntled associates, initially trying to glean information about the mysterious woman, then turning the conversation into one of partnership to kill Ravenwood instead. They are given a task to earn her trust from the man they saw her chase off, either get back her money or make sure to leave a good message for those to think to cross her. The party regroups and gives debriefs of their adventures. Ash talks about his poster plan. The Red Menace proudly shares how Fortuna now knows he's on Paradiso. Onimori explains that they'll be having a bit of a pre-fight of sorts with Rosario that night. Alina is quick to say her afternoon was uneventful. The map makers head into the evening with a variety of plans. The petting zoo group makes and goes to distribute their newly made posters, Maple and Dea planning to take a detour in the middle of it, and Onimori and the Red Menace head off to meet Rosario.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yo, before we start, that was the quietest city street I've ever heard. I will
Yeah.
never trust a city street again in my life.
Mhm. God. But yeah, no. With that, let's go ahead and get right into things. You guys are currently doing a couple of things tonight before you guys meet up in the morning. So let's see. I believe Ash was currently still hanging up posters.
Yep.
Yeah, Red Menace and Onimori, you're going to meet Fortuna and
Just
Rosario's
Rosario.
manager. Mm-hmm. Well, Rosario's
Mhm.
manager. Um, and Dea and Mabel were headed out to find someone to get Jade's money back.
This is correct. Yes.
Mhm.
gonna-
Elena, are you gonna go with any of these groups in particular, or?
Oh, I was also gonna hang up posters.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. They'll grab a handful for her and Maple to at least make it look like they're being productive. And they'll go,
Yeah.
we're fucking off to the other side of town.
Maple sort of nods, grabs posters.
Please don't ask me for any more spell slots. If shit goes down, I need them.
No, Maple's
You're
fine.
fine.
Okay.
You two head off. Let's go ahead and start off with the poster groups. Probably chill.
The actual poster group?
The actual poster group. Okay.
The regular
Yeah.
posters.
So, I'll say, if is Elena hanging up posters? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all fucking asked her to.
This is true. So I'll say, like, as Dea and Maple like split off, Ash comes out with what seems to be this weird sort of like brown pasty compost. As Ash has been like,
I've made a glue so that way we can stick it to the walls. It should dry
Okay.
fairly quickly and be solid. So, I think we're good. If you want some of this,
it smells rancid. This stuff is not.
What
It's bad.
is it?
some herbs and different components I found around. I used it all the time to hang things. The smell goes away after a while.
Okay, sure.
Fantastic. Well, I think if we can work as a team. Maple and Dea are covering an area further into the city, so we can sort of cover the outskirts, hang up the posters.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll set out.
We.
I do think if nothing disturbs us for a while, and it is just sort of like an average thing of hanging up posters, Ash is trying to get a bead on Elena and seeing how she's doing.
Very distracted. Like, she's hanging up posters where she needs to be, like, she's doing the job,
Sure.
but she's not as, like, I don't know, not as open or chatty as she normally would be, I guess. She's
Sure.
just distracted, is the
No,
best word
sure.
I can say.
So at some point Ash just goes,
So, you didn't get into your afternoon so much, but you said it was uneventful.
Yes and no. Nothing
That's-
happened.
But you don't have to talk about it. I just, knowing you at this point, you are quiet for a reason. So, I know something happened if you want to talk about it.
Okay, I'm going to say something really mean, and I'm really sorry. But I don't know how to talk to you specifically about it because you said I was in a cult. I went to church. So,
Oh, okay.
like I said, I'm so sorry. That was
No,
really
you're-
mean.
You're fine. I can understand how that might make that a strange thing to bring up to me. I apologize for how I had spoken about it in the past. It was not to
It's okay. It's okay. Really. It's just weird, I guess.
Well, I am not a person to talk down to religions in any way, considering that we had our deities at the time, so I hope you were able to find solace in your temple-going experience when you went.
Solace is not a word I'd use.
You see,
More questions.
sorry, Ash is like physically like you can see him internally struggling between like I have to ask, fuck, I said it was a cult, I have to ask, and so you just see him go.
Questions.
Yes.
You said.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know a lot about La Caballera, which is not exactly a great thing considering I got my powers from her. So
Yes.
I went because I wanted to learn, right? And I did not like what I heard. And when I brought up some confrontational ideas, the priest got very mad at me. So, and I'm kind of worried. I've only prayed to her twice before. And the first time I did it, I could feel her. I know this sounds really silly, but I mean it. Like, I felt her hand on my shoulder. Like, I felt it.
He knows.
But then the second time in the church, I asked her, I directly spoke to her and I asked, do you really want to be the goddess of so much death and war and violence? And I heard her crying. And I don't know what that means. And there's a lot to unpack here.
I think as you're going on, Ash grows more noticeably comfortable, weirdly, as he just goes,
Well, as for the first part, I can relate to people of the same group as you, being critical of questions that you ask. That does not mean you should stop asking them. They come from a good place, and it is always good to ask questions rather than to keep them to yourselves. As for what that could mean, for what you heard, I don't know much about the gods.
Yeah, like I said, this is why I was kind of hesitant to tell you. I don't know much about the gods either. And hearing that,
you watch as Ash is sort of struggling to find words for a minute, and then he sort of steadies himself and goes,
I put a lot of value in faith. I think faith is a very important thing. I think blind faith can be dangerous. And so the fact that you are concerned and asking questions, I think is a good thing.
What do you put your faith into then?
I put my faith into the Star Drake when when I made my promise, but I do not blindly trust the Star Drake. I don't know everything about them, and it would be foolish to do so. I have a level of trust, but if they told me to kill innocents, I don't know that I could do it.
Okay.
Ash sort of takes a second and looks up and just goes,
I got powers from a being of the stars that guards, but I don't know how it's got there. I don't know who placed it there. Are there other beings like this? Are there other beings that represent other celestial bodies that exist that might come to try and challenge the Star Drake? I don't know. I don't know any of this. Why is the Drake responsible for holding back demons?
Demons?
Well, yes, that is what Evelyn had said a while ago, that the stars were a barrier holding back anything from coming into the material, at least in mass.
Her jaw fucking drops.
I shared this. I could
The-
have sworn. I could have
don't think you
sworn.
did.
I could have
Your
sworn
dementia
I
says you
shared
did
this.
not.
Ah, shoot. Well,
No, this was literally right after, like, it was.
You did not share that.
ah, shoot. Ash in that moment goes, I could have sworn I shared that.
yes.
Oh my, okay, that's a lot.
It is something that Evelyn had told me, which makes sense why this demon had paired with the Dreadworm to try and tear down the stars, but like I said, there are still many questions that I have. Why is the Star Drake in charge of that if there are deities that exist? Why is the Star Drake a deity? Does this mean that they have pantheons and churches, or does this mean that deities don't need to have large followings? How did they come about? Have they always been here, or things that I don't know, and I don't know that I'll get answers. What I do know is that I know that I've seen it do good things, and that the Star Drake has enabled me to help the people that I care about. I follow it because it allows me to do good, and does not ask me to do evil. Should that change, I would have problems. But in this moment, I trust it because of the experience that I have had with it. Elena, you lost your memories of your deity. You may have had a foundation and a trust for them before. It is only reasonable for you to question things, and it is not wrong.
Okay. Okay.
I have to apologize. I ramble a lot as well, and I feel like
Yeah.
I ramble a lot at you as well.
That's okay. I don't mind. I
Well,
mean,
I
you
just-
see how often I ramble about like anything? It's okay.
Well, I just realized that I do it to everyone, but I also realize that I start sort of just spouting stuff, and you are very polite, but you don't stop me, and then I just keep going.
How about we talk about something not as, I guess, existential?
Sure, so I'm starting a union.
I know you're starting a union.
Fantastic. So,
Why we're hanging up these
yes,
posts.
so I'm wondering if I can get animals from, like, around the streets to sign up. I don't know how that works.
I think you'd have to talk to the zookeeper about that because, like, that's going to have more, enclosures and like food and stuff. It depends on the animals.
Well, that's very interesting. That's true.
I actually had a different question.
Oh, sure, yeah, no, sorry. I was just trying to pivot the conversation.
No, you're
good.
okay. A long time ago, you said that your mother was a healer.
Yes, this is true.
What was she like? What did she heal?
She was a clan healer, so from an early age she was taught magic with the intention of healing people in the clan Daresh to be able to stave off mortal injuries and wounds in some amount of magic, but mostly herbal remedies. Due to that, she also became a voice for the forest and was counterposed to my father at the time. A voice of reason. She would call him back from the brink of war when he wanted to raise areas, knowing that it would be detrimental to all living life around. And she taught me my initial magic as well.
Well, she sounds lovely.
She was frustratingly kind.
What does that mean?
I was not always the most respectful person, so being met with nothing but kindness when I was trying to elicit anger only drove me to be more angry. However, I learned the wisdom behind it eventually. Don't get me wrong, she was strong as well, and was, while kind, not one to mince words. It's why, well, from the stories that I heard, it's why she ended up marrying my father in the first place.
Because she was kind and didn't mince words?
My father was a brash man who didn't tend to listen to anyone, and advances that had been made in the past often ended with him mincing apart their attempts at flattery. My mother rebutted viciously when this happened and put him in his place.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. That's
No,
kinda
it's
funny.
a funny thing. And they grew a respect for each other and it bloomed from there.
That's nice.
They were beacons. They were fantastic.
You miss them?
Yes, of course. My mother never got to meet Horizon, and I know that she would have loved her. My father was brash, but he was still a kind man. He cared about the people that he wanted to serve. He always helped me when I needed it. I miss them just like I miss Horizon, but I mean, I know I will be with them again soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you? I know that you only remember Sage currently, but
I was in the church and I noticed something different with the stained glass. One of the weapons was only a single-bladed scythe. And I asked him, the priest, why that was. And he said it was of an earlier Las Espada. And I had this flash of a memory of this big portrait of this fierce woman. Same eyes, same hair as me. And I'm pretty sure it was my mother. But that's all I can remember.
how do you feel about that?
I don't know. I have a lot of questions, but I mean, I have a lot of questions about everything. Like, did she ask to be a Las Espada? Or was she just forced into that position? Did she want a child? Or did they make her have one? Did she actually love me like a daughter? Or not? Like I said, just a bunch of questions.
Elena.
Hmm.
I believe in people's kindness, like I have said before. Despite you not having all of your memories, the kindness that you show towards others can only lead me to believe that you were raised to be a kind individual.
I think you're wrong. I'm sorry, but I think you're wrong. I think I'm a kind individual now because when I woke up, I didn't remember all the bad. The more I remember, the worse it gets. And I am desperately clinging on to all of the lessons and the morals you and the rest of the party have taught me.
Ash.
Go on, sorry.
No, Ash takes a second and just goes,
You have told me of some of your early memories and how you were put in situations you did not enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And you have told me of your later memories and the joy of those situations and the joy you brought to others. I believe you are associating yourself with the role that you played and not the person that you were. No, that is my opinion. But a job is not all who a person is.
She looks at you with a very contemplative expression. I don't think any words really escape her.
I'm glad I was at least able to distract you from the smell for a little bit. I saw your face as well. I know it was rough, so...
As he slaps open the toaster.
Yeah, I don't know how you made this. This is really gross.
A nice hanging compost that my mother taught me. It works miracles.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Slap open the toaster.
God. All right. With. You have something?
Nope.
No.
I think we're good. We can only have so many existential conversations per session. We gotta limit it.
All right. With that, let's go ahead and cut over to Dea and Maple. Let's go with.
Fuck! I did this to myself. All right, let's go. Luckily,
Sorry,
Round
buddy.
two. Bitch.
Luckily, no
You
tongues has
did.
been cast on Maple.
They is going to cast tongues on Maple.
Fuck! I walked into that one.
Ask and ye shall receive.
There we go.
Good. You do
Now,
so.
now you said you have been tracking him. Have an idea where this individual is?
I think I have an idea. I was really hoping that Maple would be able to track this like a bloodhound.
You're gonna just use your sniffer?
That's the goal. Do I have another way to track? Let me double check here real quick. Let me double check. Yep. That's the only way I got to track, I think.
Cool.
Gonna
I'll
use,
Just a
do-
perception check then.
I
Hold
guess
on,
could
I'm gonna.
Could Maple use her disguised self to give her like a mirage sort of look, and then get a look at least a little higher up to try to get like a vantage point?
What is the disguised self doing to aid in getting you a vantage point?
So it's so Maple's not a big fucking dragon on the roof.
Oh, you want
Yeah.
to be like close to invisible or
so
something
like
like that?
camouflage herself so that way she can get to a high point and take a look out without being
How about this?
spotted.
I'll allow a stealth check. If the stealth check is at least a 12, I'll allow advantage on the roll.
Sick, we love that. All right. Let's see.
You do have a bardic.
I have a
I don't know
bardic.
if you cannot physically make it with
I
a
don't
bardic,
know
dude.
if that's gonna help. So Maple's like, yeah, I have an idea. Let me scale a little bit, get a vantage point. Maple, gong, 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 gong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say still in Dragonborn form,
Mhm.
but like trying to conceal as Dragonborn, just starts fucking scaling a building.
Yeah, you do so. There's a bunch of like noise, like a bunch of like tourists are just like walking around, just are staring at Maple, like walking up or climbing up the building.
Sick.
As soon as she's up at the top and starts to do like the mirage effect, people are just kind of oohing and ahhing like this is kind
Hey.
of like a light show in the desert.
Like a disco ball.
Paying
Yeah.
for this? Get the fuck out. Shoo. Unless you want to.
It's not a bad show. They leave you with like 5 golden tips.
Oh hell yeah. Maple's gonna pull an
But no,
Ezio
no,
and
that's
post
enough.
up on this tower.
Yeah.
Am I doing I guess perception up here if I'm looking for
Yeah.
people? Oh boy. Alright.
What the fuck, Nolan?
I think Maple looks out. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. She says that to like herself and just goes, "Oh shoot."
Please attempt. I
think
love of
Maple will go
God.
back down and just go, I don't think anyone's around here right now, but you know.
Oh. Fantastic.
I mean,
I-
why don't you? I mean, you could double check, but I don't know if anyone's around here right now.
Mm-hmm. Definitely not, you
Yeah,
know?
no, I don't.
Yeah, not at all. Yes,
No,
yes.
I don't think anyone's around here. I mean, maybe you'll have more luck, but
Mm-hmm.
God. Let's see. With a 15. Dea, just from your general knowledge of like, how these sorts of things tend to operate, it might not be a bad spot to check out like near and around any sort of like bars, maybe. Just to see if like at the very least they might have seen your target here.
Maple, I think we might need to focus our search a bit. Not much luck here, but perhaps people have been people watching. I'm sure there's a hole in the wall around here that might have some information.
That's a good idea. Yeah, let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
Maple
And-
unmirages climbs down.
And we're
Yeah.
gonna attempt to find a bar. Preferably not the one where we went into for the
Little mini game.
scavenger hunt. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that Ash was a detective at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Yeah, as you begin to kind of like look around some like the bars, you can see that like there's definitely some establishments that are much like seedier and shadier. As you can see, in this tiny little like hole in the wall bar, just a thick cloud of like smoke as you guys like enter just from like the sheer number of people like smoking in like the place. As in like the haze, you can see that like there's a small number of people just like sitting around like drinking at tables. As you can see the person that you guys need to shake down is currently just like nursing a drink head hung over the bar.
Oh, heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Maple looks at Dea and just goes, I might come off a little strong. Why don't you take the first crack at it?
Threaten him outside. I'm sure that will be easy enough.
I'll just make sure, stand guard, make sure if he makes a run for it, he's not gonna get out.
Well, it would make one hell of a fuss if he tried to run, so let's see. And they'll take a seat up at the bar, maybe like a seat over.
Mm-hmm.
That's something probably light.
Yeah. So yeah, what are you ordering at the bar, by the way?
Just something like not a heavy drink, maybe like a glass of wine or something.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Dave's not gonna do shots for this? What the hell?
No, I'm concerned about the music. You're fine. Sorry, continue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You get slid a glass of like this very cheap looking wine.
Fun. She'll start sipping on it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like glance over to the poor sap. You must be very much down on your luck if you are in an establishment like this. Drinking
What?
watered down piss, essentially.
Your point being?
Had a lot of bad luck recently, haven't you?
You'd say something like that, yeah.
Mind spinning a yarn for a stranger? My first time in the city, and you have intrigued me.
So what, you can just laugh at some poor sucker who's down to his last dimes here?
Perhaps. Perhaps I just want the word. Perhaps I could give you a little bit of help.
Help? In exchange for what?
A favor or two.
That kind of talk is how I end up getting into this mess. What kind of favors?
Simple things. People watching, following. Grunt work, really. You seem a very, no offense to you, plain and simple person. No one would give you much of a second glance. Perfect for that kind of job.
Sure. And I do that, you're willing to pay off my debt?
Dea drinks the rest of her glass. I'm sure it's not great.
Mm-hmm.
He'll see her tip a good solid 10 gold to the bartender as she very purposely shifts herself to where he can hear a large bag of gold.
Mm-hmm.
I will be outside. Alleyway. Tell me if you're interested.
I have no persuasion.
Persuasion. 12.
12. Alright. Yeah. You head outside with Maple for a bit, yeah?
I mean, I think Maple is trying to give Dea space but keep an eye on her. I think the idea is that she can hop in, but doesn't want this guy to think that they're necessarily teaming up.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Dea, you head outside. Maple, you're just chilling off in the side somewhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say before we get too far, so I have this for later. It's been more than an hour. Can I know what that dagger does that Jade gave me?
Ooh, right, the dagger. Let's see here. Let me pull that up. Somewhere around here. Probably. Give me a little bit on that one. I might need to.
Oh. Bad timing.
That's gonna take me a second. Sorry.
Ah.
We'll get back to that. I don't think it's it's gonna be.
Fair enough. Figured I'd ask.
Yeah. But yeah. As he's headed outside. Let's see. He walks over as he says, "Fine, but if we're doing this, I'm gonna need the gold up front."
Oh, very cute. You actually believed me. Day is casting suggestion on him. Stay still and listen till I am finished.
Ooh. That's gonna be a wisdom save.
Correct. Let me pop that in here. Oops, sorry, you no longer have tongues anymore.
Ah, shit.
That is a fail.
Hell yeah.
Listen, I'm sure Maple could mime or just the yes or no response is what we're gonna have to go back
It's a
to.
solid nod, and yeah.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Now that I have you where I want you, you are going to sit here and listen. I have been sent by Jade. Now, clearly, you don't have the gold to pay her back. Wonder what got you in this mess. Your own foolish decisions? An addiction you can't beat? I assume you're aware of what's going to happen if you can't pay her back. Wonder she'll take her finger. Wonder she'll take more. I don't know if you're alone on this island or not, but do you think she might take those close to you first instead?
You can see as like his arms are just pinned to his sides. He's like desperately trying to struggle against it. His mouth like just clamped closed. He looks at you with just like bloodshot, fearful eyes.
Now I am here to send a message. And it's hard to forget one if you have to look at it every single day. And let's see. I think Dea knows this is gonna drop if she does this, but I think she could probably get it done fast enough. She's going to take the dagger Jade gave her, and on one of his forearms, she doesn't think she can get the full name out, but I think a large J carved into his arm would send one hell of a message.
Ooh. Yeah, great. And as you begin to just like tear into his flesh, you can feel the magic of the knife beginning to swell within you. As like it draws blood, you can feel more and more knives beginning to surround like the area itself. As just these spectral knives are just like getting just in like a centimeters away from like every part of his body, surrounding like the both of you in like this threatening cocoon. As this dagger is whenever you hit with the dagger, you can cast Cloud of Daggers at the target location.
Oh, that's fucking sick.
Yeah, usable one time per long rest.
I think Dea will do the cast, but she's not going to have it hit him. It is going to be centimeters from his feet, like in a circle.
Yeah, great. You do so as he's unable to resist, as like you just carve like the J into his arm. Daggers beginning to slowly encompass him.
I will say when she does that, because she has attacked him, the like, suggestion go away. So.
Oh yeah, but like yeah. I will go ahead and say though, for sure, roll an intimidation check with advantage after that one.
Intimidation. I am bad at reading in alphabetical order. What the fuck? A 13?
Oh, that's God.
I'm not intimidation built.
Unfortunate. Yeah. You can see he looks fearful. Maple isn't within sight, right?
No, Maple's definitely within sight. She was trying to keep an eye on Dea.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. You can see as like the instant he's able to, he reaches for like the dagger at his side, just like out of fear, just kind of like still staring at you. As like he's kind of just like he feels like the blood dripping down his arm.
Shivam, if he goes to attack Dea, like I see like an attack about to like hit Dea, Maple will do something. She's gonna hold herself back, you know, if he's just reflexing and like going to his dagger, that's one thing. But if he tries to attack Dea, Maple will do something.
Yeah, you can currently see like he's still considering it. He's not quite like
Yeah.
there's no intent yet.
Okay. And I think Maple will make her way to be a bit more visible and like lean against a wall and just exhale an excessive amount of smoke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. Yeah, you do so. The man just like looks at you in fear as he says, "Okay, so what do you want then?"
To send a message. I assume you cannot pay. Or perhaps can you? Are you employed in this town?
I worked a couple of odd jobs here and there, but it's not enough to pay back.
Hmm. You wouldn't happen to have access to those locations, would you? I'm sure you could pick a few things up they would not miss, that perhaps enough items would be enough to cover your debt.
Yeah. I mean, I could. Yeah, just give me time. Yeah.
You don't have time. It was tonight, and that is it. I am not the scariest person Jade could have sent after you.
Yeah, you can see him still kind of like trying to weigh his options here. I will allow like Maple. Did you want to like assist in any sort of way? Be like with any sort of like threats or anything like that? Or...
I mean, boy, Maple can't speak, so there's not
Yeah.
a lot
Mm-hmm.
she can do. I mean, I think when Dea says, you know, there are scarier people that could have been sent against you, I think what Maple's gonna do is just like sort of like have like fire dance across her fingers or something, sort of like playing with it, just like, yeah, I can easily make a good amount of fire and magic. I could fuck you up. Sort of trying to aid Dea's thing of like, yeah, there's a lot of people who can absolutely
Yeah.
destroy you.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
That's the most I got.
Yeah.
How about this? We were sent to make sure that you and anyone else knew not to cross her again. I think you serve as a good enough warning. What if I were to finish her name?
Okay. Look, I can try to sort out some of those items there and get them to you by the end of tonight.
What time would it be right now, Shivam?
It is definitely like it's around 10 p.m. or so. It's gonna be rough for him to actually get this money on time.
Can Maple make an insight check?
You go for it.
Ooh, shoot. That's Ash. Too many character sheets. Insight?
Skill issue.
Skill issue, sure. Sick. 8.
8. Hard to say if he's gonna follow through with that or not.
Scoundrel.
He seems scared enough to do so, but
also seems scared enough to run.
Yeah.
Alright.
Unfortunately, I don't think I believe you. I don't think you can manage it. Hell, it took me having to tell you this when you probably had plenty of time yourself to come up with such a plan. She's gonna glance back at Maple. Hold him.
Boy. The carving really kind of freaked Maple out. Interesting. Okay. I think Maple's gonna walk over. Does this guy show any sign of running?
Now that you're walking over to him threateningly, yes, he's kind of backing up a little bit.
If he runs, it's another suggestion time.
You wanted to try and scoop him up into a grapple first, or?
I think Maple's faster than him, straight up. So I think it's Maple doesn't want to do a grapple. She doesn't want to physically restrain him. I think it's more of a show of getting around him quickly. Because Maple's got like a speed of like 40, 45 feet. She's fucking fast.
Just like if you run, just like you run straight into you.
I think it like he's like backing up, and I think Maple is going to deftly move around behind him and just like place a hand on his shoulder, which is a large dragon's claw, and not necessarily grapple him, just sort of push him like back down, like saying like, I could easily break you right now. I'm choosing to not stay.
Yeah, let's go with this. Let's have you roll your acrobatics versus his.
Oh, sure, it's not like an athletic thing.
I don't know, but you might still have that bardic.
Oh, yeah, I probably still have the bardic. Sick.
I'll allow athletics for the pushing over, I suppose.
Hey, thanks. That's so nice. All right.
Alright, versus.
Aww.
What?
She is a +8.
She's a +8. All right. So, Maple's got a good athletics. Okay,
well,
and then I have a bardic, right?
Bardic, you do have a bardic.
Yeah.
It's a D8.
Yes.
Yo, fucking easy.
Easy.
I think I can roll. I think I can roll it again, right, with skill checks. I don't know.
It's an ability check, not a.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it matters necessarily.
Fair.
Oh, sick.
For Shiggles and Gigs,
that's a 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. As like you beginning to like slowly approach him, he is about to just like make it an absolute breakaway in like the alleyway. As like he takes one of like the fruit stands next to him and just tosses it behind him to try and like impede your progress. How do you manage to very easily just like avoid that shit and fucking knock him over?
I think Maple in that moment is just like, we got a runner, and is just going to like sort of leap, because Maple can fly. He's going to just like leap over it in what is made to look like a Herculean, just sort of like massive jump, sort of kick off of one of the walls, is going to grab a bit of the stand and throw it in front to stop the movement of them running away, and is just going to land in the rubble of it and slowly push them to the ground and be like, just shake a head no. Because she can't speak.
Yeah, great. You do so as you have somebody you're slowly approaching from behind as he's knocked to the ground.
And on the arm that she started on, she's going to place her foot like at the crook of the elbow to keep him from moving. And she's at least going to attempt to make this quick, but she's going to stare him right in the face. This is the extent that I shall do to you. Be wise to heed this warning. You will not get a second chance.
Cool. One more intimidation with advantage.
Please.
Oh, there we go. 24. Yeah. With a 24, as like you stomp down onto his like his arm is already injured, he just like okay, I understand, I get it. Please, just let me go. I can go grab the goods now. Yeah, I'm on it. Just please don't hurt me.
She gives a glance to Maple. I think he has learned. And Dea steps back and
I think Maple is going to like lift him off of the ground, to show, like, with a force that's, like, not intending to necessarily, like, hurt, but, like, oh, I'm lifting this small paper doll off of the ground
Yeah.
right now. And set him on the ground and sort of just give him a little shove to get going.
Yeah. You do so as like he sprints off to try to gather up the necessary gold.
Dale lets out like a breath she didn't think she was holding.
Oh yeah, Maple shrinks the second that go grabs around the corner, and you can see a look from Maple of like, oh.
This will hopefully be the last time we have to do this kind of thing.
Yeah, Maple just kind of looks at Dea with just like a sort of look. Like Maple's not used to that.
We could have easily been sent out here to kill him. You know that. He still gets to live another day. Albeit, perhaps not a bright one, but... hopefully he makes some better choices.
Maple nods, but she's still looking a little sketch at Dea. Big sigh from Maple as she reaches down into a bag and pulls out a bunch of fucking posters.
Yes, we can do the posters. Do we want to do it around here? It's really shitty. I don't think they're going to make a lot of money if we put all the posters here.
Maple shrugs, throws one on the wall, and then gestures to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Actually, fuck it. We'll deal with Jade tomorrow. I don't want to do anything else. You get to talk again. This is...
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's gonna make things a lot easier. Yeah, I mean, one here is fine. We can put them up in other places too.
Mm.
And Maple will go around with Day and hang up posters.
Yeah. All right.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Nice.
As you crack open a cold one with Dea.
God.
I think while hanging up posters, Maple just goes, the name was a lot. Like carving the name.
I've seen people be branded in my time
So have
for
I.
this kind of thing.
That doesn't. That doesn't necessarily mean it's right.
It's not, no. I don't think we could have scared him enough on our own, however. We didn't have enough going into it.
No. But we did make... With the cloud of daggers, we had an impression at least.
I feel like he was still too... That's the word. Flighty.
Well, sure, he doesn't have the money. I would be too. You would be too.
He's
How
at
is
least-
someone supposed to respond to that? I know we're doing this for a reason, but I need... Dea, how would you respond to that? If someone held you down, you couldn't... You know that you had no way of giving something that they were asking for, and yet they were threatening your life for it.
Of course, I would not be Should be looking for any way out.
As much as I disagree with him about a lot of things, Ash's bluntness can be nice sometimes. Being more direct can help, and some show of force is good, but healing magic isn't that common. We have it, but it's not as common as we would like to think. I don't know. I guess I just... That was weird. That freaked me out. I've seen you do a lot of stuff, but that freaked me out.
It's merely taking a page from what I had seen in my time.
Well, it's not your time anymore. Not mine either. Things have changed.
They have. You don't have to like me. You know, once this is done, you don't have to care anymore. You can...
Taya, that's the thing. I do like you. Hell, I'm the one who suggested that Ash buy you the dagger. I just...
You what?
Dea, I've had a lot of conversations with you. I've seen some of the best sides of you. And I want you to be safe. Because you stuck your neck out, whether in frustratedly or not, for us a lot of times. I do care about you. It's not a thing that's going to go away. It's not a thing that's dependent on interactions. It's not a thing that's going to go with money or with time or with favor. It just is. And it's helpful at some points and it's annoying at others. Right now it's not helpful, but it is because I care about you that I'm telling you that that scared me. Because I know, well, you can be direct, you do have a heart.
I think they'd probably still be putting posters up at the time, and Dea's just like ripping the hell out of the one that she was about to pull up.
I think Maple sighs and just sort of just goes, ah, fuck, I don't want to preach to you. I'm sorry. I want to be... I want to be more
Let's just
direct.
finish this and get back.
Yeah, let's finish and get back.
And Day does not say a word the rest of this.
It's okay.
Yeah. As yeah, you two finish hanging up the rest of your posters.
Woo!
Onimori and the Red Menace.
Ah,
Time.
Oh yeah.
Do.
You two begin walking towards the casino. Any conversations while you're on the way, or?
The Red Menace.
yeah.
Just so we're on the same page, the story that I told Rosario was that I and my friends here, no number given, are a group of traveling merchants, and we happened to be going on something of an adventure while also working. So
Mhm.
that would make you one of my friends who is also a traveling mercenary.
That makes sense, but also Fortuna thinks I'm very undercover agent for Cielo. I think those two can merge.
Maybe I am working for you if Fortuna is also there. I'm
Fair
working
then.
for you.
Okay, you can be partners. You don't have to be working for me.
Well, I mean, sure, but the implication is that I'm being paid to work with you.
No. All right, then that works.
Lovely.
Well, what's our plan when we get there? Just have a nice time, talk to the people.
Oh, yes, this is a meeting before
Oh
the
yeah,
actual
yeah, I
club, and
yeah, I
my
understood. Yeah.
intention was to figure out what trends were for the battles, and I have been offered a battle in which I choose the rules,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe figuring out a little bit of how Rosario thinks so I can gear it out of her favor, or at least something evenly in both of our favors.
All right,
Out any tricks she may be pulling.
I'll follow your lead.
Alright. We head over.
All right. Cool. And yeah, as you guys do so, in front of the casino, you can see that there is like this well-dressed man in a suit, that just kind of like waves you guys over, as he walks up to you and says, yes, and you would be the ones who wish to do business with Fortuna and
Was
Rosario,
that?
I believe.
That's us.
That is us.
Right. Well, to be transparent then about something, as he kind of turns to the Red Menace, are you the Red Menace?
That's me. Yeah.
I see. And then the people around you, they would be the people from the wanted posters, I take it.
Yeah, they are a little different from the wanted posters, but those are them. Yeah.
Yeah, he notes that down.
Fuck.
As he nods and then says, "Right. Well, Miss Fortuna did have an offer then for you all. Well, as the wanted criminals from Cielo, you all would make the perfect villains for the fighting arena.
Yeah, that does track.
So a proposal: 5 fights with each of you all in the arena, showcasing the worst that Cielo has to fear. And
Mm-hmm.
should you guys win, each contestant that manages to win one of the fights gets to enter into a fight with Miss Fortuna.
That's pretty good.
And at the end, well, Miss Fortuna is offering a winner-take-all scenario. She is in fact willing to put the casino on the line, but in exchange, if any of you were to lose that last fight there would be a public execution that we would pay to publicize and monetize through the casino.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Great. There's some legal paperwork we do need to do in order to make sure that we can legally show your guys' executions. So, do we have your permission to kind of use your likenesses and the like in case that does end up happening?
That I'm not signing. I've seen those kinds of things before. I had plushies just being sold out of the. I didn't see a penny for that.
We are planning to make merch lines, and yes, that is kind
Yeah,
of one of the stipulations of this fight.
Yeah,
here
I
currently.
would need a commission for that.
How much of a commission are we talking about here?
May I see the paperwork?
Yeah, you want to check out the paperwork when you are?
Absolutely.
Yeah, great.
I guess while the Red Menace is arguing about his rates, I'll read the paperwork.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me your choice of intelligence skill for deciphering a difficult
Whatever I'm using,
legalese
it's the
document.
one that I have advantage on because of my fans.
Okay. I'll have history for this. Or investigation. Investigation probably makes the most sense.
Let me check which one that is real quick.
I think, don't you have an advantage on just all intelligence checks? Is that one?
It's like very specific
Really? Okay.
skills.
Yeah, I'll have history or investigation, though.
Okay. Either way,
Whichever's better for you. Yeah.
I don't.
Anyway, so what rate were you thinking then for commissions?
At least 60%.
Roll persuasion.
I can do that.
Can I argue that I can take 10 if I'm just sitting here the whole time reading it?
That's a 15.
Yeah, yes, but you are not contributing anything else to the discussion. Then is that
Oh,
fine?
I wasn't planning
You're
to
lost.
until I was
Okay,
done
great.
reading.
Yeah, no, fair, sure. I'll allow you to take 10.
Okay, if it's 15 then.
Cool. 15. We'll start with the Red Menace then. How about this then? We can do 60% on one condition. The terms of said payouts will end in case of your guys' deaths. Yeah?
Yeah, no, that's reasonable. I can use the money otherwise.
Can I put on a 2-minute timer and that's when I'm done reading?
A 2-minute timer on
Can I
this
do that?
conversation.
Because I don't know how long this is gonna go on for.
How about that? Yeah, I like that. Fine, 2-minute timer. They're discussing. You can't and then you're coming in at
2
like,
minutes.
whatever we say at the end of 2 minutes. Great.
Alright, and go.
Great.
Okay, so when we die, we don't take the money, right?
Yes. No, we would not pay anything to your next of kin
Is it-
or the like.
Yes. So we got plushies, shirts. What
yes,
else?
we would have
What
the
are we planning?
exclusive right to use your likenesses in any ways that we seem fit. Yes.
Exclusive. Wait, so
Well-
I couldn't make my own brand of shirts separate
Well,
from
you
that.
could, but then we'd take you to court. But I made, admittedly, difficult to enforce.
Yeah, don't. But I still get the money from your shirts, like 60% every time.
Yes, if we were to print out any shirts, yes, you would get 60% of that. Yeah. In
I
addition
like
to,
that.
we'd also use the likenesses for any sort of advertising material around it. So, if you have better images of your friends there, that might actually be useful for the arena fights themselves. and
No,
building
I'll
that
ask.
around.
I'll ask.
Mhm.
No, they're a little camera shy, and some of them are not photogenic at all.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, they're. Yeah, I wouldn't say it to their face, but they're a little
We have people
butterfly.
for that.
You have people. You have a makeup department then.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, great. All right. So it sounds like that's the plan then. I can go ahead then and give you guys a list of some of the match types that you can request, and we can go ahead and get that started. Fortuna also did request one specific thing too. For the 5 of you, please all pick a different match type if you would be so kind, just to keep things interesting for the arena.
Oh, that's reasonable. That's showmanship.
Yeah, great.
I would expect to be talking with Fortuna about this. Are you her lover? Oh.
Yeah, great. At the end of the 2 minutes, Onimori, as you're reading over the contract, it seems oddly fine. There are a couple things though that get you. One is, of course, like the use of your guys' likenesses, just kind of like in general. They do clearly want like better and clearer images of you guys to use for whatever they would want.
Yeah, I do have a couple of specific questions. Do you want me to ask those now or after your explanation?
After my spiel, please. Two. While you guys can suggest some of the match types, and while some of the match types could also be randomized too, Fortuna also gets exclusive rights to change any of the match types as she sees fit. Yeah. And three, Fortuna also currently controls the matchups of who goes against who for each of your encounters.
I'm having like a Professor Layton you just solved the minigame moment right now. What was that last thing you said? I'm sorry.
Fortuna controls whoever. Sorry, I just had a really keen visual in my mind of like Onimori and the Professor Layton.
Sorry.
That got me so much. No. Last one was Fortuna controls who your opponents will be.
So the first round is all 5 of us individually against random people. And
Yeah.
whoever wins those fights goes against Fortuna.
That would be correct, yes.
If any of us win the battle, does that prevent the executions of any prior losers?
Well, no, but I suppose this, if Fortuna were to cede control of the arena, then, well, I suppose we couldn't do the execution, at least publicly.
Yeah,
You mean it would
lose,
render
you
the
just
contract null?
Depending on how much power we'd have at the time, yes.
Also, this is not what I agreed to Zarya with. That doesn't even say that I'm battling her at all anymore.
Oh, yeah. So we did have one exhibition match then scheduled out. This will be before anything and just as a way to introduce them to your group. So yeah, this one's, I guess, lower stakes, just more of an introduction here.
It's
And
independent of this?
yes, it would be.
pretty fun.
So the tentative schedule, you would have a match with Rosario. The 5 in your group would then have matches with people in our arena. Those
Why
winners.
5?
Yeah, you have 2 matches, one for exhibition and one for all the beings, right? Is that it?
No, so it'd be. Yeah, so it'd be the one exhibition match, and then I believe you would probably have come here with. Uh-huh. As he says,
I'm backing off of that.
Yeah. As he says, I believe you would have come here with the rest of your group, as it were.
Not all of them will want to fight in this.
We can
Well,
convince them.
Not all of them would want to, I suppose, but in which case, well, they wouldn't be fighting against Fortuna at the end either.
So they are allowed to pull out of the initial fight?
But no, so if okay. we have 5 matches there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're all one-on-one matches.
Yes.
Yeah.
If any of them win the match, they get to fight against Fortuna in a 5-on-1 match. Or an up to 5-on-1 match.
Up to 5-on-1 match.
Up to 5-1, yeah. That makes perfect sense.
Against Fortuna.
Yeah.
What are the terms of the initial match?
We get to choose the type of match, but
Not
then
necessarily, it's overwritten later in the contract.
yeah, if Fortuna,
It says we get to decide everything, but ultimately Fortuna can overrule anything.
that's
Meaning
fine.
this would.
Would it be nice if you could talk to Fortuna?
Well,
That's
well,
kind of what we're here for.
Yes, unfortunately, though, Miss Fortuna does have an appointment tonight.
Oh, we found.
Oh, something or other about getting a new tattoo, I believe.
Oh,
Oh fuck.
What about Rosario? That I was supposed to meet her here.
Same thing. We wanted to schedule out the fight itself outside of her hands. She needs her beauty sleep.
Am I
He
allowed to say in this
gives a bit
contract
of
at all?
Sorry,
Am I allowed to say in this contract at all?
allowed to stay?
A say.
Well, I suppose this is the negotiation phase. What's the amended terms you'd like to add?
The first battles are non-lethal.
yeah.
And actually, may I discuss with my compatriot here for a minute?
No, no, you keep going. You're on a roll.
I mean, sure, if you
Onimori
do
says
need a
that to the
moment.
guy.
Mhm.
Can I take the Red Menace aside for a minute?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah?
he exceeds himself for a little bit, gives you guys a little bit.
It was what's the plan?
Well, this is going horrifically.
As
So,
like
as it
good
is
or
now,
bad?
we face 5 battles in which we don't really get any say over what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think the non-lethal is fair, and I think they'll agree to the change because it's all about the excitement, right? That's what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
There's no excitement if people are dead.
I mean, the non-lethal is kind of implied because if we lose the final battle, we're executed anyway.
Yeah, but the way this is written, I don't want to leave anything implied.
Not that's sure.
I also think we should perhaps ask for no restrictions on the weapons in the final battle. Otherwise, quite a few things will render half of us useless, I guess.
Yeah.
I do, like, briefly explain what I read in the contract to the Red Menace
Mm-hmm.
No.
at that point, and then Onimori asks, so anything I could be missing here?
No, I think you got it. So it's just you just need to be careful with the weapons, and that's pretty much it, right?
And then I would like to know if this final fight will be recorded is the correct word?
There probably will be.
Oh, that's lovely. Let's go back, I guess.
Yeah, we just after this we're gonna be famous.
Well, Onimori like had turned and taken one step, but then he stops and like wheels it back. I think I'm starting to understand your fame strategy here, Red Menace, but for some of us, fame is bad.
Why is that?
I guess if I were to use myself as an example, my face going around would potentially harm people that I know, or perhaps their descendants.
You do use a mask. You could just change the mask.
That is
for a
true,
second.
but I believe simply knowing that I am alive is not good.
Yeah, so you use another mask. You're known for that mask, aren't you? Or you had a face before.
I think either. This is a conversation a little bit for a separate time, but I think it would be kind to make that decision as a group.
Yeah, if they
Sure,
want
they're
to
not
opt
one.
out of the fight, that's fair.
Yeah, yes, we'll talk about this later. I think he turns around and walks back to the guy. I would like to suggest a couple of clarifications.
Yes, you were mentioning the non-lethal rule.
Yes.
Well, yes, that's always sort of been a soft rule in the arena.
I would like it to be a not soft rule.
Hard rule.
Thank you, the redness.
That's
understood.
the opposite of soft.
As as long as the term is, of course, you know, anything but killing your opponent. Yes.
Sure.
What?
All right,
Yeah,
lovely.
Actually, what would that entail?
I mean, well, of course, you are using live weapons there. It generally involves trying to knock out your opponent and beat them into submission. Or at least most of the fights, anyways. And, well, I'm assuming you understand what happens when, weapon meets face.
it hurt.
Yes.
Yeah, that's, what I mean. Injuries are more than liable to happen.
Of course, we're used to it.
And what
For the final battle, I would like there to be no restrictions on the type of weapon or magic use. After all, there's going to be 5 of us, and one of her, she could easily just optimize her choices.
I think that could easily be arranged.
And in the final battle, I want between the first round and the final battle for any of us to be able to choose to acquit without the execution, as long as at least one of us proceeds.
Do you mean acquit as in you haven't had your fight yet?
Yes.
Very well. If you haven't had your fight yet and you choose to leave, then yes, you can choose to avoid your fight. Though, of course, you will not get access to the final fight with Fortuna, of course.
That's fair. I mean, I don't think any of us is going to quit. But if someone do quit, it's not gonna be me, and we know I'm the show here. Hit
I
me.
would like to extend that to after the first round as well.
Oh. Wait, why?
I'm assuming you choose to ignore that question, don't worry.
Yeah. It would
Yeah.
make the final battle more difficult on us. But again, it would still trap at least one person in. So you still gotta fight.
So you're gonna fight with someone, but the rest of us can choose to just to quit?
Yes.
Hmm.
Same
I
amount of battles.
Well, wait, sorry. So you mean, like, if someone quits, someone else can take their place?
So basically, after round 1, the winners, any of them can choose to just leave at that point, but there has to be at least one remaining of the winners.
And they leave and just like, oh,
And leave
any
the
of the
rest of the
winners
group to
can
fight.
lose the rest of the group. Oh, okay. I got you. Oh, yeah. Okay, but with the caveat being, of course, only the winners can choose to quit. I guess
Well, I
even
mean,
with
if
the
they've
losers.
lost the first round, they've already left the
Yeah, they've already.
contract.
No, yeah. All right.
Again, leaving you with the same number of battles, assuming we don't all lose the first round, and
Yeah. All right, those changes seem reasonable. Any more questions then before I give you guys a list of some of the fights we can choose from here?
I think that's all I've got.
All right.
Could we also get some tattoos with this tattoo guy of yours?
I can look and see if there's any appointments available.
Thank you.
He gives you a very quiet, grim nod.
So 70%, and yeah, take care.
I believe it was 60%, but
I
thank
think
you.
it was
Oh.
70.
I'm pretty sure it was 70.
Fuck. 70. Okay. Stupid. All right. With that, he leaves you with a copy of all the fight types that there are.
Well,
Oh.
here's the fight types we can choose. Whoa. Bring your
So
own
here's some of
weapon.
the
Your
options
opponents
and
square
my-
up unarmed. The audience throws any
The
weapons.
bunny, bro.
Oh shit! I want this 2 cage match.
Hell yeah, dude.
Table smash, be the first person to incapacitate your opponent and send them down through a table to break it. Bunny brawl, just anything, but participants must wear a bunny outfit. Alright, so I guess this is what we're choosing. Barbed wire, death pit, unarmed in a cage of barbed wire that slowly closes in on them. Be the first to knock out your opponent before the barbed wire gets your growth. Okay. 3-legged tag team, fight in a 2-1-2 match when you're tied to your tag team partner. And 2 contestants must fight unarmored in this traditional seal-in match. The only caveat being the audience decides one contestant has had enough.
Give me that one. Give me that one. Give me that one.
You get to choose it.
I want that one.
And then the modifiers are, of course, that in the fights, if you can pick a weapon to bring in, then you and your opponent have to pick a specific weapon, or you and your opponent have to only use unarmed or magic only. And by the way, if it does say an unarmed fight, you can in fact use magic in those fights. Those are one and the same in terms of weapons.
Okay.
Yo,
Nice.
get Ash in there for that steel cage match. I'm ready to go.
All right. So
I already
Red
took
Mist
it. You can't
was-
take it. It's mine.
Nah.
I said
Be
it
the first to
first.
climb out of the cage. I want Ash to have that one.
Ash has a
I
climb
can
speed.
fly.
Ash has a climb speed.
I can just fly.
I'm putting what I want in here first before anybody else does. I refuse.
We should take this list back to the group if we're including all of them now.
Oni Mori should definitely take the bunny brawl. Just saying.
Yes.
Oh, hey, that's so awesome for me. If you're gonna take the steel cage
Steel
match, I'll
cage
take the steel cage match. That's awesome. I'm
I'm
so glad you
How
chose
dare
the
you.
steel cage match. I'll take the steel cage match.
Bitch, die. Get the bunny brawl.
This only makes sense if you're in the Discord.
Yeah, so sorry.
Yeah, great.
I'm specifically cutting the steel cage match from the paper.
You haven't even talked to Ash, but you're like,
Yeah,
this
you're
motherfucker's
just-
pissing me
You
off.
don't
Fine,
even
this
get
one's
to
for
see
me.
it.
Dude,
This is mine.
You just hell, Revenants, you just fucking talk to the guy and just sign me up right now, fucking.
So any that say unarmed, is that no weapons, no magic at all?
No weapons.
can
No
use
weapons,
magic.
but yes, magic.
Okay.
Unarmed are
is
also magic.
Yeah, unarmed is magic. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, let's take this back to the group then.
Assuming everyone gathers up.
And we'll discuss who gets what. I guess this is what Fortuna meant by she gets the final choice.
I hope to God Oni Mori's in the bunny brawl. I will lose my shit.
I'm looking
Maybe-
there's 1, 2, 3.
Hey, maybe she's a
4,
fan of
5,
Demon Guard.
8 of them. And none of us has to pick the bunny brawl.
But yeah, sorry. Yeah, you go back to the.
Has
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, we go back to the place we're staying at.
I'll leave you guys discuss a little bit, and then we can break.
Hi
So,
guys.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all back now. Is that where we're going?
Yeah.
We
Mhm.
have so many posters.
Oh, that's so great. I'm so happy for
You
you.
don't sound happy for me.
No, I'm so happy. You got so many posters. Look at
We do
you,
have
good
something that
boy.
involves all of
The
you.
Red Menace, is there something that I did to you?
No,
Okay.
because I just had a scenario in my head and I got really mad at you.
Oh, well, it happens to the best of us. Unimori, what were you saying?
Sorry to interrupt. Onimori is so glad no one can see his face right now. Well, the cat is a little out of the bag about our wanted posters in this town.
There's a cat.
The first thing I should share. Sorry, what was that, Elena?
I was asking where the cat was. I'm pretty
It's
sure
a figure of
Raventail
speech
is
that I
back in.
picked up
Oh,
since
okay.
here. Anyway, we are. I just shared the details of the thing.
Yeah.
There's 5 matches. We're all going to fight one-on-one against someone, and then whoever succeeds may participate in the fight against Fortuna.
What the
And-
fuck is wrong with you?
What?
There is the option to quit at any point. So I'm saying this is an extension out to you all, and if you don't want to do this, then by all means, I've given you the free option to say no.
Okay, but you realize they're going to fucking cheat. That is the embodiment of this entire island.
Yes, and we can also cheat.
There are only 5, 6 of us, and a lot of them.
I mean, the rules are one-on-one. I know that they can break the rules, but again, we can acquit, and the first rounds are non-lethal. So it seems if things get out of hand after the first round, we can always just leave. And I do have an ace up my sleeve. Well, all of you are looking at this list. Which, the Red Menace, have you actually removed the cage battle?
Of course I did.
There was also a steel cage match option, but the
What
Red
a
Menace
snitch.
removed it for some reason.
Oh,
Guys,
if he's
I thought we were friends.
if he's
My
if he's claimed that, then that's fine.
That's mine.
is in the whole is we also have the option to acquit after the first round, as long as one person stays. If things are out of hand, it can be me, and I will likely lose to Fortuna, depending on how good of a fighter or how much they cheat she actually is. And then I will be publicly executed, and then I will actually be totally fine. All you guys have to do is go find me, and in a week I will-
Execution by how?
Oh, I don't know. I don't
exactly?
think it matters.
Do you
Are
not
sure?
think they will not put you up somewhere to laugh and gawk and point at till forever?
You just need to win.
Oh, we can. Yes, we can win. Daya, I'm genuinely not concerned with what people think about me. It's really about giving you guys an option to be safe in all of this. Again, I'm sure it'll hurt, but as a part of the curse that I've received, I think I explained this all to you. As long as you gather me up eventually and put me somewhere dark and quiet for a week, I will be totally fine.
I think Maple chimes up from the corner and just goes, "Hi, have tongues cast on me.
Hi, Maple.
Hello, Maple.
Onimori, that's just fucking dark. I mean, I don't mean to be crass, but I don't know if our aversion is necessarily to, the practicality of it. I don't think we want to see our friend murdered in front of us.
I wouldn't either, but if the alternative is all of us murdered. I would rather do
Yeah.
something sneaky, I guess.
Also, if the cat is out of the bag, like you said, what is to stop? She doesn't have to execute us, but what is to stop the rest of Cielo, who is currently having our wanted posters out?
This is
coming
going
to
to
kill
bring
us.
us so much unwanted attention.
That's the other thing
I
I
just-
wanted to discuss. First of all, they did say 5, so Maple, you are still fine.
Okay.
And I believe we have a long overdue discussion about how we want to go about our notoriety. I think Onimori turns to the Red Menace.
What? People already know me.
Yes, and that is something I think you're very used to, and that's not the case with the rest of us. The Red Menace is widely recognized around this town, and since we're associated with him, kind of is a circular thing. And I think you've been going around with the supposition that if fame benefits you and doesn't have any real drawbacks, then why not use it as an intimidation tactic? In the case of some of us, it's not something we really care for, or could potentially be negative. Having done some thinking, I think there is some merit to both sides of us. After all, if we already have our names out, why not use that? On the other hand, I've mentioned before that I don't want my face known, or my name, which is why I've been going by something else, but as long as we can keep those two things separated, I suppose it's fine if we're all of agreement otherwise.
I think in Cielo-controlled towns it can be difficult. We don't know how quickly people will bear down on us. Our names are public.
And then there's the other question of, does every town have a standing army ready to attack us? We could potentially be tracked much easier, but they seem to have not had much difficulty so far.
It might be safer here, is I suppose what I was saying. It's not my favorite thing in the first place either. However, in a town of more bent rules, I think we might find more allies than we would think.
In fact, when we were organizing the fights, the organizer made it seem as though us being villains, so to speak, was
We're the
intriguing.
hero.
Was part of the attraction. I think Ash just fell over.
Oh, sorry. I definitely got really distracted in my own head with popping some bubble wrap. I'm so sorry.
Ash is like in the corner, and there was like it was like a vase that
This
was
is the
like
first
packed
time
up.
he's ever seen bubble wrap.
Yeah, Ash was just really transfixed.
I'm so sorry.
And I think for all these reasons, I think it would be well worth us discussing what in general we want done about our notoriety. Nah, notoriety. I fucking can't get it.
You
No-
can do it, I believe in you.
Notoriety.
Notoriety.
And what
Yeah.
would potentially be different about this scenario? I've said my piece. The Red Menace is fairly clear about his. I give the floor to you all.
You know, I neglected to bring this up. Elena can vouch for it. When we were investigating Bildrath, he had gotten a call from Nicoletta. She is actively trying to find me. For better. Well, not better. Very much not better. Worse.
Why didn't
I
you say
imagine
that
I was
before?
doing the same for me.
this would not be helpful to be very public about our image.
Well, in my scenario, I've been going by my lesser known surname this whole time. So if someone becomes famous, it's Tamara and not me. Something like that interest you?
I mean, we've been attempting to use the fake names as best as we can. But knowing a face, once that is there, it's going to make things difficult.
You can just not go. That was your plan in the beginning, wasn't it?
You also have the option of not going. Or you could, not go and then be on the sidelines and help out if some things go particularly sour.
I can attempt, but having as much power against Fortuna, it's... As much as I do hate this whole thing, the opportunity to be able to fight her like this. Really skipping past the becoming her lackey and just fighting her straight on.
Oh, good. It was rather convenient.
Convenient is one word for it.
You have another one?
Reckless.
Yeah, that's a weak one.
When I talked to Rosario briefly, at least she did strike me as rather reckless. Don't know if the same can be said for Fortuna, but if they're similar in any way, it's not the most shocking thing.
All I'm saying is I agree with the points Dea was making earlier. We don't know a lot about this place, and they do, and they will use it against us. If we had more time, we would be able to research, but that's a luxury we don't have anymore.
Precisely my thoughts. It's a huge risk that we have to mitigate. I don't think we can avoid it completely. The unknown can never be avoided completely.
No, I guess not, but I would have liked to talk about it first.
Yes, and that's exactly why we're having this conversation now.
Ask for forgiveness and not permission?
Well, to be quite honest, this was also sprung on me. I was intending to go to a conversation with Rosario to discuss some common match types there, and I was met with a contract to the face, and I had to make a decision.
I also never asked for forgiveness. I stand by my decision 100%.
So, yes, I am asking for forgiveness, but again, this is an opportunity that we can technically bow out of right now and have no consequences.
Except for the
Beyond
fact that
everyone's
they
reputation.
know. Except for the fact that they know the Red Menace, and it's
I
not
think
going
they
to take.
already did.
It's not a large Herculean leap in logic for them to know about us as well.
They know about our wanted posters. And yes, we will be unveiling our faces in some ways. Dea has disguise magic. I go in there, and that is something we'll have to consider. But again, any of you can leave. Or not leave, we're all a group here together, but not attend the battles. And assuming then the idea is to be disguised on the sidelines and give a hand if things go terribly. But again, the major priority here is the spectacle and entertainment. That's how they make their money. So I don't think they're intending to pull a elaborate seal and trap on us. In fact, they didn't seem interested in turning us in at all. I think it is just as the Red Menace has said about entertainment, and we are the perfect... What was the term you used? It was not foot.
Heel.
Heel. We're the perfect heels.
We are the perfect foot.
Not
That's
that.
Whole different thing.
So yes, there is risk. I agree, Maple, and it would be naive of me to completely ignore that, but I want to make sure that there are risks we're all willing to take. It is also an opportunity.
Well, I suppose that I'm not opposed to it. I share some sentiments with Maple, but this is a good opportunity. Skips a lot of the having to climb. And we were able to negotiate because of this, so...
Yes, I did negotiate our bowing out being an option, and did a bit more leeway on the final battle. We can all bring in whatever weapons we'd like. Of course, she could only more gestures today, cheat or ignore the changes or whatever she will, but at that point then we're going to do the same and respect the contract. Or, you know, cause a riot and leave, whatever is the most suiting at that point. But I don't want to pressure you all into a decision right now. I'm detecting the awkward silence, so I will leave this list here, and if there's any of these matches that you think you would be well suited to, please put your name next to it. And if you'd like to not fight at all, put your name at the bottom, and then we'll discuss this in the morning.
Yeah, maybe a night of sleep would help, so we can think things over.
Yes, and I'm very sorry for bringing this all on you. Again, it was a surprise to me as well. But the faster we can move, the better.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, you guys tuck in for a night of rest.
I was gonna grab Dea before she left, but we could take a break
Yes,
first.
before. Okay.
Yeah.
Break first.
Break
Break
first.
first.
Okay. Yeah. You do that, and we'll break, and then we'll get back to that.
Alright, we're gonna take a 15-minute break.
Anyway. Hi,
Hey,
everyone.
we're back from break. When we get back from break, we'd like to share fun facts about our characters. So you guys get to know them better. This week we had a theme, which was if your character had a like a perfume, what would it smell like? So for Ash, Ash's perfume would most likely be a mix of the scent of wet foliage along with ginger lilies. They are a jungle plant that are known to have a strong but pleasant scent. Which I thought was very fitting to Ash because he is, maybe a bit more
Strong
blunt.
but pleasant.
Yeah.
Jungle boy.
He's a bit more blunt, but he tries to be nice when he can.
Jungle boy.
Jungle boy.
Yeah. For Dea's, quite obviously, it would have a sea breeze scent, and it would just have a little bit, a hint of sandalwood in it.
That sounds
She
so
smells like
nice.
dead fish on the side of the road.
Oh my god.
No. If you hadn't put your fun fact in, I think that's what we would have done.
Dead fish.
Good.
God.
That's so mean.
All right.
I'm
Like a
sorry.
wet dog.
All right, Onimori. Onimori smells like blood and like MILF like attraction.
Like milk pheromone.
Yeah, MILF pheromone.
Milk pheromone?
Onimori, the emitter of the MILF
Yeah,
pheromone.
yeah, wrong.
Immediately
answer,
buying
what does
that.
your character smell
He's
like?
like a bee.
Anyway,
Sorry.
Is he?
Yeah. Elena's perfume. It would be a mix of frankincense, notes of wildflowers, and cinnamon, and I named it Celestial Bloom.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
That is really nice.
I gave Onimori an Old Spice scent, so it goes determination, the musk of the working man, Kraken's blood, also spearmint wine.
Yeah.
I just picked those because it was like a naturey smell, but it's like cold and sharp.
Mm.
And I feel
That
like
tracks
that
milk.
that like
Attracts
there's like
mouths.
two kinds of nature smells in this group, and one is ashes and one is Onimori's, and they're nothing alike beyond that first word.
Oh, since Nemo didn't get his fun fact,
I
this time,
forgot.
I made his perfume for him, and I think it actually works. The Red Menace has the smell of fireworks, gasoline, and oddly enough, jasmine, and it's called the Red Musk.
The red
Oh,
musk is good.
the name is what gets me.
The red musk is very
It
good.
sounds like it would smell. I guess gasoline for like most people smells bad.
It does? I like it.
I also
There's like it's like I'm pretty sure like the cilantro gene. Some people have a gasoline smell good gene.
Man, that sucks for the cilantro.
That's
gene.
wild.
So
Yeah.
people.
At least I have
Smells
my
good.
gasoline sniffing that I can do.
Yeah.
I can't eat
Gasoline.
cilantro, but I can go stand at a gas station and just inhale.
Gasoline.
Clearly, I'm losing the genetic race. Oh boy.
My gosh. Anyway,
I believe, as everyone's tugging in for the night, Elena wanted to talk to Dea.
She goes over to Dea's door and the little knocky knock.
She
Knock knock.
peeps it open like just a sliver, and she sees that it's you. Can I help you?
Yes, I actually had a couple questions for you, if you don't mind.
About?
Gods?
She kind of like gives you like a strange look, but she'll crack the door open enough for you to come in.
She'll go in. So, I went to church, to learn more about, La Caballera and stuff like that. And you don't talk to gods directly. They talk to you, right?
I wait for something, but I have never heard a word.
Have you tried talking to them?
I mean, I do my general offerings every meal. I set some aside. I have not done it recently, but larger offerings of sacrifices of either something that has been freshly killed or incense or material items. Also, I have not done nor had the usual setup to do so. That is how I communicate, in a sense.
You've not. Okay. Sorry, these are weird questions, but I don't know what I'm asking, I guess. You haven't had like a one-on-one conversation with a god, right? What gods actually do you talk to?
I give general thanks to at least the main pantheon of gods. There are many. Just about anything that you can think of. There are a few that I stick to. Poseidon, the sea, is what he rules over. Athena, wisdom. It has been, I feel, a sense of guidance, in a sense, when I attempt to convey something to her. Of course, I make note of the others, of course, because gods do not enjoy it when they are ignored or left out, so nor do I wish to incur such wrath.
So you only speak to your gods in your pantheon? Have you ever tried to, like, reach out to other ones?
There are, I suppose, cases where if there are certain situations I need input on, there are very specific gods, if you can think about it. Well, you actually probably wouldn't, but the difference between a god of all weather versus one that just focuses on rainfall, or a god that is known for her domain over the land, over the plants, versus one who focuses on specific foods, grains.
There's
You
a
could-
lot of gods. Oh my gosh.
Realistically, I do not know I could do every one off the top of my head if I were to try to name them.
When they talk to you, what do they say? Do they just give you guidance on what to do, or do they, like, talk to you? Do they ask you of anything?
I just get shown things. That is it.
Oh. I think I talked to La Caballera. I asked her if she really wanted to be the goddess of war, of bloodshed, of violence, of death. And the only response I got back was crying. And I know you're a little bit more in tune with gods and that kind of thing, so that's why I wanted to ask what you thought.
Well, I don't think that's a good thing. I'm sure you could glean that at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if she was asking for help.
How do I help her?
Well, the specifics of the question you asked her. How did you word it exactly? That's...
Well, I cut open my palm for, like, an offering of blood, because I guess that's what we do. And I asked her, literally, is that what you want to be known as? Are you really the goddess of bloodshed, of violence, of death? Like, is that really what you want to be known as? And then that's all. Was crying.
It is a presumptuous thought. Again, all of this is just speculation. We can probably only assume so much, but it makes you wonder. Are they forcing this kind of title upon her? It is a weird thing to think of about the god.
I think you're right. Because my very first memory was of a man telling me about La Caballera, that she was a protector, that she was victory, that she would help. She wants to defend the homeland. Nothing about war and death and all of these other things that have been insinuated upon her. And even when I said, what if victory counts as something more than war? What if victory is just, waking up in the morning, being alive? And the priest got very angry.
sometimes this is more common with mortals, people like us, people who live here on this realm, who get titles that they do not want pushed onto them. They shape the image of how they are portrayed. It is easy enough to do to someone who is just, what's the word? Very simple, very small. You can control a person very easily, but to change the image of a god? And one worshipped by an entire country. And no one questions it. No one... I...
If I can talk to La Caballera, would you want me to try and talk to one of your gods to help you? Or see what they need to?
I mean, they don't speak to me, and I have assumed that what they wish to tell me, that I can probably get through enough visual clues from what gets shown in front of me. When I get shown my visions, Elena, there's usually a few scenarios for how I am presented it. I am either there in the room, the area, when something is occurring, a third perspective. But there have also been instances where I am the person. I see through their eyes somebody that they think needs aid, needs help, some tragedy to keep from unfolding. But at least seems to... I think that is enough for me.
And... How do you know which god is showing you these visions?
I don't.
Oh.
But the fact that I'm still getting them, it's... I don't know how long I have been dead. What has happened to the Empire, but... if it's like how Ash's home was, so different, so changed, would there really even be people who still worship them? I had the thought that they had perhaps withered away, got replaced by a new generation of those who look down from the skies. But I'm still getting them.
Do you want to get them? Or no?
I don't know. They have been useful. That... just wish it wasn't as fun getting them. You know, with the most sarcasm that she can muster with that.
What do you mean?
There are... you saw in the Dust Keep. There are side effects to them.
Do they hurt you?
Not permanently. I haven't found any long-lasting adverse effects, to the best of my knowledge.
Well, if you ever need healing there, I would be more than willing to give you some.
It usually does not last too long. That is the thing. It just. In the moment, I am very much incapacitated. I can't stop it. It makes me worry if we are trying to run or something and one is to overtake me.
If that happens, do I have permission to, carry you to safety? I know you don't like touching, but I also don't want you to die.
It is a stretch to ask, but if you could at least even wrap me in something.
Okay, I will try with whatever is available, but yeah.
I just don't want something that we could use to plan for the future to make the situation who knows how much worse.
Well, that's why we all kind of count on each other. So if the situation does get worse, we can all put our heads together and make it better.
Now, did you have any more speculation to go over, or...
That was kind of it. But I just assumed it'd be easier to talk to you out of everyone, because you deal with gods too. So.
I feel like I placate them more, Elena.
Well, if I ever talk to one of your gods, I'll tell them hi. See what they say.
I hope one of them does not turn you into an animal.
Wait, they do that?
If people piss them off.
I'm not trying to.
Just don't try to upshow them, I suppose, at anything that they do.
Like what?
This does not give her very much. It is probably not paint her in a better light than how I describe, but Athena, wisdom, she is known for being clever, crafty, good at anything she applies herself to. There's a story of a woman who was such a good weaver. She boasted that she was better than the gods themselves, and, well, Athena thought that since she is such a good weaver, she turned her into a spider.
Oh. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, sort of being turned into horrible creatures for things that are outside of your range of being able to control.
Okay. I mean, I was going to try and be respectful anyway. And this is all if I decide to, maybe reach out. And they might not even answer me, and that's okay. I just wanted to see.
I mean, if we kill something very impressive and dedicated towards them, it could do something, but...
Do you have to have that? Or can I just say hi?
I mean, it would grab their attention much more. But again, if they... I don't know how many people still follow them today. So I don't think they're probably having to listen to too many people.
Well, then it's easier for me to talk to them if they don't have too many people. Right?
I would suppose not.
We'll see. But anyway, you have a good night. That's all I wanted to talk about. If you need anything, let me know.
I will attempt.
Okay. Good night. She'll leave.
Alright. You do so as you guys tuck in for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we doing watches or
shit.
nah?
Nah.
All right, fuck it. All right.
Honk
Cool.
shoe time.
Honk shoe
Yeah.
time.
You'll honk shoe.
Me, or myself.
And
Oh, fuck.
as you do,
Who?
nothing happens. You guys
Oh,
just
you
go
fucking
wake up
son
in
of
the
a
morning
bitch.
normally.
I can't believe
To
you.
strike you down, Shivam.
Oh,
Don't think I
you
won't.
son of a bitch.
I'm coming for you.
God.
Alright.
As you guys are awake, another day is your guys to explore the island itself. You get a couple of things you guys could do in addition to Onimori's exhibition match at the end of the day here.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, in addition to, I'd say probably selecting your match types would probably be for the best to do today. So.
Oh shit. I was gonna say that. Before Elena went to bed, she signed her name under the Logisticia one.
Mm. I'll say in the morning you guys have probably time to discuss over breakfast, like the match types.
Already signed it.
Yeah, okay, go sign it.
We're making brekkie.
Has anyone
Is it
else written down their
pancake
name?
time?
I mean, the Red
No.
Menace took Steel Cage one, but
Yes, there was
Mr.
one that
Gates.
the Red Menace took very quickly, but I don't.
It's mine.
It is.
Only Mori, why don't you take the cute little bunny one? It could be like, like the Easter bunny.
No. I think he
It does.
puts his name down for all of them except the bunny brawl.
Oh.
God.
Has Dea written her name anywhere?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
She's still thinking.
Ash.
I mean, I'm not opposed to any of them, I suppose. I'm not the best with my hands, but
Huh.
let's see.
Let me hit the long rest button. Fuck.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
make sure
like,
you
nice.
smash that long rest button.
Oh, also, here you guys go. Boop. Just in case, Onimori.
What?
Blessing of the Kings.
Oh,
I suppose I wouldn't mind the tables match, or
the three-legged tag team may be convenient in us getting some advantage over enemies, but again, be aware that we will be attached to each other.
I suppose I wouldn't mind the
Oh,
bunny.
by the way, with the
either.
tag team specifically, that only counts for a win for one person in the tag team.
Oh, then that's a
shit.
terrible idea.
I mean, you could find someone else in the city.
Good.
Actually, if someone who is not very well adjusted to one-on-one combat, looking at the people who fight with ranged weapons and magic only and are quite squishy, I wouldn't mind joining the three-legged tag team and creating a barrier between you and your enemies. I suppose I could always just face sideways.
That does mean you wouldn't join the final battle, I think.
I would.
Oh, so the
I
other
would just have to fight in
No,
two.
yeah, you just fight in 2 matches is all. Whoever
Oh.
joins the three-legged tag team, like so one person would have to fight in 2 matches is all.
Oh.
If there's someone who wants to help in the final battle but isn't feeling superbly confident in any of these their own.
I mean, I would be fine fighting. I'm not the best up close, though.
I was going to ask, do you have an option for close combat? You might be cornered by someone.
Do I have my sword? However, I am fairly good at keeping the distance.
Noted. Just remember, it's going to likely be an enclosed space, from what the Red Menace has described to me.
Yes, and I have ways of restraining people as well.
Yes, the vines from the jungle. I remember that.
Yes.
Sounds like you have a plan.
Yes, I suppose I'm not opposed to the bloody one. While it's humiliating, it has the least restrictions on it.
You do get to choose your weapon.
Yes. Which is why I am more inclined.
If you're willing, it would be well suited to you.
Ash like stops for a second and like goes to say something,
I'm so sorry.
and then like Maple's just snickering in the corner.
Onimori lets out the deepest sigh.
He just looks over.
That's
I'll
not
make
what I
you-
meant. So
No, I know,
bring
I
your
know.
Very nice bow into combat.
Yes, it is beneficial to have Arboretum with me should I have the opportunity.
You get to choose the color of like the bunny outfit that you
I
wear.
don't
Like, is it
know.
like pink or like blue?
I was also going to say the Red Menace. Are you sure you want steel cage match and not the barbed wire death pit? Because I believe Ash could just climb out of the cage.
Oh, what are the details of the steel cage match?
You just climb out of the cage.
Oh,
Or
the
defeat
goal
your
is to
opponent.
climb out of a cage. I mean, I'm
Yes, I
very
imagine
good at that. I have a climbing speed.
That means there's no roof to it or there's an opening at the top.
Yeah, I can just fly also.
Oh,
Yes,
well.
but I mean, if you have your concentration broken, that it could be
I mean,
dangerous.
it depends on how far away. You could just fly in one turn. Theoretically, if I were splitting up the combat into a back and forth situation in which we have turns.
Yeah, if I just exist, I just fly and ban them out. That's 2 seconds. 6 at most.
I was thinking of bring your own weapon for myself, because I am proficient with many weapons, and even if I receive something like a bow, I could use it as a club, I suppose. I apologize, Ash, I'm sure I'm insulting your weapon of choice.
I am not offended by your use of other weapons. No.
I was never good at ranged combat.
It is a acquired skill. Regardless,
He nods.
I suppose it's. I would be willing to do the steel cage if the Red Menace does not want to.
I think the Red Menace wants to. It was.
I
believe
really
saw
want
him
to.
tearing it off of the sheet, and I've just now put it back with the group. So it sounds like I will do bring your own weapon. I guess we'll even steel cage. Ash, you have a decision to make.
I would.
We'll come back to you, Ash. Elena, you were signed up for the. I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm sorry.
La Justicia de la Caballera.
Yes, that. Leave unarmed and unarmored. I assume that means you're going to be fighting using magic, which I've seen you're quite adept at. The unarmored are just going to be hurtful for anyone in this group, so.
I can do this one.
Just be careful, you know. This
will
one
be
seems to be a
okay.
bit more brutal than the others. Remember, that's not our only battle for the day.
I understand that.
Dale, did you want to participate in the fight, so we're going to withhold?
Realistically, I was thinking I could do the bring your own weapon and just possess theirs before they can use it, and use it to beat them with it.
That's actually a
do it.
very interesting idea. I would not mind switching out, I think, and many of these are suited to me.
Hear me out, Dea. Could you possess The bunny suit, should you choose the bunny fight.
Oh my god.
I know it's unconventional.
I need to double check what the fuck my.
You're gonna Five Nights at Freddy's your opponent?
Okay, no. Animating performance.
Trap soup, but it's a fucking bunny outfit.
I want to double check this because I've seen this on and off a couple spots. There's some places that don't say that you can't possess something that isn't being worn and carried, but the Wikidot animating performance description says you can't do so. That you. So I don't know what the ruling is on that.
I feel like
I
the
heard Shivam
ruling
laughed
is.
so hard. I hope he says yes.
I've got the official. Let me look it
I
up.
should say no to that for sure, but it's the funniest thing in the world to me that like the ears come to life and just how about that? The ears specifically work.
That's not enough for Dea. God fucking no.
God, you wanna fucking spring trap someone in a bunny suit?
Look, man. I'm being efficient out here. It does say isn't being worn or carried.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
I wanted to vibe check that before I even considered.
Ooh.
Shut the fuck up, Nolan.
Well,
I want it to
that's-
happen.
That's unfortunate.
You do know that all that's gonna be televised, don't you? So if you want to be discreet, you just don't need to join.
Yes, but this also means less people would be able to help in the final fight. Is that not
That's
correct?
true, but cheating is
It feels like more of a hindrance if it is a 4 fight versus a 5 fight.
I would not mind doing the three-legged combat with you.
I would prefer not to touch you, realistically.
Understandable. I mean, I'm not going to force you to do anything, but realistically,
I'm just going to possess their weapons.
Alright, then by all means take that one, and I will instead take.
If they'll
Table.
allow me,
Oh.
I would do the three-legged fight if I could just go in with Maple.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, mounted
That
combat
is
is already
smart.
something I'm proficient in. Although
I
it
like
would-
this idea.
It would look weird, I suppose. If Maple was still
No, but you have a
disguised.
point because then Maple doesn't have to fight her own battle. Either.
This is true.
No, that's a genius idea, Ash. Please do that.
I will probably do three-legged. Tagged team then.
Imagine I could do the barbed wire or the tables one, the barbed wire.
You should do the bunny.
They're kind of the same thing. I think the barbed wire would pressure my opponent to.
More than you, I believe, yes.
I think you're right. I think it would pressure my opponent more than me.
For me, it seems like there is more of a magical component that we're not taking into account about the tables match. Whereas
I think you're right.
the barbed wire
I
death
don't
bits is
know.
more straightforward.
Could always use the barbed wire as a weapon. Yes. Okay, yes, you've convinced me, Ash. I'm taking that one.
Okay, so I wrote this all down while we were talking, just so
Thank
I know what the
you.
hell is happening.
Bless.
So Elena got La Justicia de la Caballera. The Red Menace has the steel cage match. Ash the three-legged tag team. Onimori the barbed wire, and then Dea bring your own weapon.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll write that down in chat once I'm done.
Cool. We're all sorted. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And everyone eats breakfast.
Yes, you guys.
You sure you don't want blood muffins? Because I can try and make those.
That sounds. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to respond to that, Elena. Because it wouldn't taste good.
Okay.
And it would be a waste of your precious time and resources.
Okay.
So I'm going to politely decline.
Okay. Also, real quick question. Should you like eat
I'm fine.
before? Like,
I
didn't
think
you
I will
say
be
it gave
fine
you like a
for-
boost or something though? Like,
No,
wouldn't this help you?
I'll be fine for a couple more days, actually. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I just.
I mean, I've spent decades training my willpower to be strong against my curse. Promise you I will
yourself?
be fine.
By yourself?
No, with friends.
Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to offer suggestions.
No, I appreciate it, but genuinely keep your strength. I don't need it now.
I am plenty strong.
Well, we'll leave it for the combat to come.
Okay.
All right. Cool. With that, yeah. So you guys submit in the matches that you guys would like to do to the person giving you the forms yesterday.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess me and the Red Menace will just take it back over.
Yep.
Great. Yeah, you see him as he is mentions like, yep, we got all the changes you guys requested to amend there. We will need each of you guys that are participating to show up here eventually and sign this, as well as just take some promotional photos that we could use for advertising the matches and the like, of course.
Hmm.
But yeah, just whenever your full group's ready, just or just just send them here like piecemeal, and we can get that done. But they will have to eventually.
When would you like us there?
Well, for you, it'd be nice to get it done as soon as possible. But for the rest of the group, if they could just be here by end of today, we can start getting things done in a timely manner.
Sure. The Red Menace, are you ready?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I should. I had a thing with some guys from the spot. They wanted me to train them a little bit, and so I have to do that before.
Well, then we will be back in the evening.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Nimori just like gives him a nod, turns and leaves. His discomfort is not noted.
All right. And with that, I was actually going to say that scene, I think, for next week, as I think that's probably a good spot as any to end tonight's session.
Yeah.